Well, Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, thank you for joining me. I appreciate that you've come in to have a listen to what I'm talking about. Psychology through theology. Not an easy subject, but we'll give it a go for what we've got and what we know. We're up to saying number 4 after being involved in saying numbers 3 through 24 and 25 of Proverbs 22, where it advised that do not make friends with an angry man. And I'll just move my position. Do not make friends with an angry man, and do not associate with a hot-tempered person, or you may learn their ways and entangle yourself in a snare. These are people that are possibly having some kind of burnout, some kind of psychological failure that they haven't resolved, people of unresolved, and they're going to try and share their unresolved and spread it. And you can get entangled in this via third party or direct if you're with somebody that's become narcissistic, which can happen after you get married or during a relationship. And this can rub off on you, and this is why relationships get hostile. The blend of the two people after they come out of the love bomb phase just goes sour. I don't normally fall out with my partners. I normally have cases where there's outside interference of some kind, and I just can't tolerate it for long enough for the relationship to last. And if there's not going to be resolve, I just let things go. But you can get entangled pretty severely by by interferers, and this is, I guess, the main message is not to buy into people's bait, not to get ensnared and entangled in people's traps, because that's where you come undone. If you can just manage yourself, stay out of trouble, let them do what they're going to do, you'll find that those that are with you will bring things into order, and those that are not will just allow things to crumble. Keep that in mind, because it happens to a lot of people, and when things start to collapse, you need to come to 26 and 27 of Proverbs 22. It's saying number 4, do not be one who gives pledges, who puts up security for debt. Now, there's no point in you putting value on something that is not there, that is debt. When somebody goes astray, they start to go into a personality disorder, or their sinful nature kicks in, or the stresses surrounding the relationship have just become too much. It's all going into debt, a psychological debt. And a lot of people try and keep value in a situation where it's deteriorated to the point of 0 and minus debt. You're trying to keep something alive that's gone. And that's not healthy on you or the person that you're with, because a lot of people will stay in it even though they're emotionally out. They're turning up physically, the sex is on and all the rest of it, but emotionally they're out. This means that through the unresolved, they're going to emotionally look outward, away from the relationship, to try and find some element of soothing. This soothing will normally come through an emotional affair of some kind. It can start within the family with the flying monkeys, who will, via way of the partner's complaints about what's happening in the relationship, whether they're wrong or right, the flying monkeys will always, family members, children, etc., adult children, they're going to jump on board either way and try and break things up, usually to go with the favor of the person that you're with. The outsider's always going to be treated with hostility, mockery, etc. They're going to just go with the DNA. And this is why you should not overvalue somebody that's collapsing right in front of your face. Because they're going to mirror what is influencing them. I've had a girlfriend come here. She was almost, she was getting tremendous healing, and she was really turning the power on. The power was working in her life. She turned up the opposite, and I thought, that's not mirroring the effort I'm putting in here, honey. Cut a long story short, it all collapsed that weekend. It was all over. Things got exposed for what they were and whatnot. You've got to be careful who these people mirror. See, they don't understand, if you're a person of the light, that you can read things that are not being said and not being shown. You can get underneath the covertness of it all. And they don't realize this. They can't comprehend that just being covert is going to keep them out of dispute. But in the spirit, your spirit discerns things that they don't understand. It says the natural mind cannot receive the things of the Spirit of God, but the spiritual mind can. So we try and overvalue people that need to take accountability. And we try and save them from themselves, and we undo ourselves and we undo our relationship. And we need to be aware of this. Do not be one who gives pledges, who puts up security for debts. That's trying to rescue somebody from something they have to confront. There's things that we need to confront characteristically, personally, to resolve things that are going to help us to grow, to get us out of debt. And if you pay nothing, if you have nothing with which to pay, why should your bed be taken from underneath you? Powerful, powerful passage. We're running around trying to rescue people, right? And we can't even save ourselves. It's not our job 9 times out of 10 to be trying to help people that are in a worse position than what we are, when we need to be helping ourselves to get ourselves right. But we do. We do this on a day-to-day basis, and it taxes us. Look, if you're trying to help someone that's in debt and you're in debt, guess what? Everybody loses. They've already lost. Your bed, your intimate resting place gets taken from you. Everybody loses. You cannot pledge to be security for someone that's struggling and needs to take accountability for themselves when you've got issues you need to deal with as well, or I need to deal with as well. That's why you deal with things on a daily basis, or guess what? They're gonna mount up until you are bedless. You go to bed, you can't sleep, you're restless, you wake up at 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, you're on the drugs, you're trying to get sleep. Your whole dial clock just goes out of sync because you're not resolving things. You're trying to help everybody else, but not yourself. You're running around trying to rescue everybody else, and you're going down the drain. You haven't got the fuel to do that. You're out of order. You're spreading yourself too far. You have nothing with which to pay. You can't help somebody get out of something they need to face. Please listen to me. The narcissist, the personality disordered person, the sinful nature person, your goodness cannot save them from the destruction they're causing in the relationship. I deal with people all the time. The boyfriend's on drugs, the girlfriend's on drink. Somebody's in hospital, from smoking. They're dying of cancer, gut cancer and lung cancer. And there's nothing you can do if you're not doing that to yourself to save that person from themselves. You can't stop the lung cancer in your partner if they smoke and you don't. If they light up again, you can't help that person. That's their lot. They've brought that on themselves. Some people never recover from breakups. They never ever recover. They never come back. You can't change that if you meet somebody later in life that's gone through all that and never been able to heal. You can't change that. I know men and women that have met people that have just been so psychologically damaged from the way they've been treated by partners and, in-laws and family members and all this stuff. And, they've met another partner, but the partner's never been able to, they can only comfort them and walk alongside them, but they've never been able to help them to come out of the psychological trauma that kind of abuse causes. There's adult children that turn on their parents because the parents didn't raise them right. There's parents that just give up on their children because their children got in with the wrong crowd and they never come out of the drugs. They never come out of the alcohol. They got no money left. The parents got no money left, nothing left to show. They even sell their homes and everything to try and save these people. But you cannot save people from things they need to take responsibility for themselves. We're living in a generation that's in denial, and they don't want to take accountability for anything. And there's this rescue mentality that does not work. It doesn't work. Please do not be one who gives pledges, who puts up security for debts. If you have nothing with which to pay, if you're psychologically and medically, you can't help these people. They've made their decisions. And why should your bed be taken out from under you? Why should it? You can't put yourself in that situation. You can only walk alongside these people, and if they don't want to come into water, that's on them, not on you. It's not on you. Really, it's not on you. Do not be one who gives himself as a means, as a way of trying to rescue somebody that doesn't want to save themselves. Because when you have nothing left to give, why should your bed be taken from under you? Why should your health suffer by the negligence of somebody else? I'm Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.